Hello and welcome into another video. In today's video I'm going to be talking about the best Starfox game ever made. I can't say anything else because Kid Icarus Uprising, I need to talk about this game. I've went overboard, as I've mentioned before, recently with my 3DS, getting a bunch of games that I used to absolutely adore back and getting some that I never played back and getting, Kid Icarus is one that, it's a weird one for me. I put more time into this than I think I put into a single 3DS game, but I never finished it. And that might sound weird, but basically I was obsessed with it. When it came out, I played it so much, it's unbelievable. And I think out of the 25 missions in the game, I'd beat mission 22, all of the missions up to 22, on 9.9 intensity. On top of that, I put an extreme amount of time into the online. It's one of the only games I've ever felt like an absolute pro gamer competitive god. I rarely lost. It was a team-based multiplayer, 3v3, and I rarely lost because I was so good it didn't matter how bad the other two people on my team were. I was usually better than the other three people combined, so all they had to do was just be competent and we'd win. My win record was something like 95%, and I know that might sound unrealistic, but genuinely, this is one of those moments where it was no one played the game as much as I did, I think, was safe to say, on top of the fact that Nintendo at the time was not known where sweaty, try-hard, competitive people were, and I've never been, fully sweaty or anything, but I was getting it with Icarus. I really was. I was really trying to learn the strategies and the practice, learning everything with the maps and learning where items spawned and all the stuff that I had to do to really get to the point of, I go to this part of the map here, I go this there, and I go for the chokehold there, and I take out the entire team. It was one of those things I absolutely obliterated people. I want Kid Icarus Uprising to come back so fucking much. I know I'm playing it again on the 3DS, but the reason I never finished it is, when you put that much time into it, my hands were shot. The controls for this game, it's the only thing that I actually cannot stand, and rightly so that so many people didn't play it at all, because the controls are that bad, they're that uncomfortable. They don't even let you fully remap everything. If they would at least let you do that, it would be kinda okay. I don't know if there's a way to play this game modded on a modded 3DS where you could actually make the right stick the aim, because I know people have managed to do that with Metroid Prime Hunters, but it needs a Switch port, and I would love for a Switch port, but the game just didn't sell. No one really cares about it at all. And Sakurai got to make his dream project recently with Kirby Air Riders, and I really enjoy Kirby Air Riders, and there's a lot of theories that no one truly knows, but everyone does know a little bit that Sakurai deserves a rest from Smash Bros. He has given so much of his life to that franchise and to really giving it his absolute all, and everyone could actually see it was really hurting his health. So he got to make his dream game of Kirby Air Riders. And a lot of people are saying that maybe he got to make his dream game and maybe Nintendo will now go back to Smash Bros. I think it's Starfox. And I don't mean this new remake that's coming up, because this new remake is just yet another remake of the original Starfox story that then got ported into Star Fox 64, which, by the way, Starwing and Lilac Wars, I hate the name Lilac Wars. I fully agree that that is actually a bad name for the game, the Euro version, but Starwing is so much better than Star Fox. I'm sorry, it just is. And I hate the fact that I kind of have to call everything Star Fox now, but it doesn't even really matter because they've made so much of the same story, because I think even Zero was a retelling of that as well. Basically, I think this is whatever team they've got on remakes at the moment. I don't know if it's Grezzo, I don't know anything like that. It'll just be whoever they've got on their remakes. But they've started to expand on it so much with the story. The game's not out yet, but it is known that they've added all of these full-size cutscenes in. It feels like they're starting to do a reboot for it. It feels like they're trying to make Fox an actual character, especially with the fact that they obviously put him in the Mario Galaxy movie. It feels like they're trying to really, really bring Star Fox back, because Miyamoto loves Star Fox. So what if that's what Sakurai's doing? Because seriously, Kid Icarus Uprising is the greatest Star Fox game ever made, and it's not even close. This was a game that had so much content in it, it's unbelievable. This is a game that didn't just have massive amounts of missions, but the mission variety, the boss variety, the enemy variety, the story, the cutscenes, the acting, the amount of collectibles, all of the weapons that you can get in it, all of the customization with your builds that you can do. Just, there is so much that there was added to this fucking game on top of an incredibly good multiplayer. And then also those weird augmented reality cards, which I was collecting for a point, but I realised I was spending so much time trying to get a complete collection of those, and they were completely worthless. It really was only for sickos like me who were really into the game, and it's something that I'm kind of forgetting what their function even was, because I got rid of them all, and I'm not going to go out of my way and buy some of them to use on the 3DS, but if memory serves, you scanned them and got weapons in-game, which you could then break down for hearts, or like use to upgrade your other weapons or something. I think you could upgrade weapons later on in the game. It's been a while, it has, and I'm very early into the game at the moment and really, really enjoying it, and I'm also forcing myself outright to only play it on 4.0 intensity, because I don't want to get back into that mindset of trying to get so sweaty and beat every level on 9.9 that I then never finish the game, because it's always been a huge regret for me that I never finished the game. But the other reason I don't want to get so obsessed with it is, what if? Just what if we get the Switch port? Just what if we get an actual dual analog HD full way to do the control? And I'll probably be terrible at the online at that point. It's one of those that, now with Splatoon kids out there, I'll probably get absolutely destroyed. But I'd still be so ready to just jump into that game day one and jump into the multiplayer and just fall in love with it again, even though I'm in the middle of playing it on the 3DS. And I'm definitely playing it sparingly. As the arthritis has gotten worse, the controls are even worse on my hands. But it's such a good game, and it truly is the greatest Starfox game ever made. So it's why I'm sitting here thinking, what if Sakurai is done with Smash Brothers? He got to make his dream project. What if Miyamoto's like, would you please make Starfox something worthwhile again? And because after how this plays, it really is the best Star Fox game ever made. And I like a lot of Starwing games. I like Starwing Command. I actually thought was amazing, and Starwing Command is also the kind of game that makes me think that if Sakurai isn't doing a reboot, if I don't get this fictional sequel in a couple of years' time to Star Fox Switch 2 version, I'm going to start calling it, because at that point it's not Star Fox 64, and like either way, Star Fox Switch 2. If I don't get an actual sequel, quite simply, what if we get a Rogue? So roguelike, roguelite, whatever you want to call it, what if we get a Rogue? And I know everything is Rogue these days, that it's overplayed so many things, but think about it with Star Fox, wouldn't it make fucking sense? These are games that are designed to have like 45-minute campaigns. You blast through them, you go from start to finish, and the new one's adding some challenges and things, and it might add some actual longevity and some length to it, but for the most part you run through these games really quickly. And the only one that I've ever really stuck with outside of Star Fox 3D, where I got all the gold medals, because I did it on Lilac Wars as well, but outside of that, it was Star Fox Command. I wanted to get all the routes, I wanted to get all of the different stories unlocked. Give us a roguelike version of Star Fox. I think it would really, really work. So if we don't get Sakurai making the sequel or anything, if it really is a case of he made Kirby Air Riders and maybe he is going back to Smash Bros, which I wouldn't have a problem with it, or maybe he does get to go on to Kid Icarus, which again I would love a remake of the first one, or a sequel, or maybe both. You do the remake and then you reuse a bunch of the assets to cut down the time, you know. There's so much that could be done that I know I'm just completely hypothesizing and speculating and kind of wishing and wanting things to come into existence essentially. But yeah, I do feel if we're going to start getting more Star Fox, we either need Sakurai to make the sequel because of how good he made Kid Icarus Uprising, quite simply the best Star Fox game ever made, something that I would love to recommend to more people, but outside of the fact that the only way to play it, like legitimately, is with a 3DS with an actual cartridge of it, because it never came out download, otherwise I would have owned the download and never would have lost my save file, and playing it is so painful. I would love to be able to recommend it because of how criminally underrated it is and how much I love the game and how amazing it is, but to do that, I kind of need a remake of it. I need a Switch version of it, you know, a Switch 2 version. Ideally. I don't want the Monkey's Paws wish of, we get it, but it's a Switch 1 only version, you know. But yeah. Anyway, if we do get more Star Fox, and it's not from Sakurai, just to reiterate, I would love a roguelike. So yeah, I think I'm finally done with this video. I've had to re-record the end a few times because ADHD brain fog kicked in, and I think I've managed to cut it, and hopefully I don't run out of footage, so just in case, I'm going to try to speed through this and see it. I've been Scarfy Ship. I truly do hope you have a great rest of your day, and until next time, bye!